Awesome. Okay, so we're going to cover Facebook ads again. It should be recording. Sweet, got it going. So I'm not going to do anything too much different. I might just change my ad around a little bit because it's always nice to try to figure out new ad ideas for that. But I'm still going to do the basic premise of giving people something for clicking on the ad. And there's one thing that we all have that we can give for free, and that is our MyKW app. I also recommend doing this because if you get any leads coming in through Facebook that are like the fake leads, and we've all kind of seen that before, when they download your MyKW app, they actually have to put in an email address for that. And I can even show you when they do that, it's going to put a green check mark next to that contact. Actually, I think this guy's name is Davey. Or did I delete him? Nope, I might have deleted him. Let me see here if I got one here. I don't anymore. But there will be a green check mark next to the name when they come in through your MyKW app, or if they come in through your consumer website. And then from there, you will see their email address that they use to register, and then you can see what neighborhoods they're viewing and hearting and liking and all that in their activities. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Not only do you get a lead, but you get a lead that you get to track and see what they're looking at. And that's like a whole opportunity to open up communication with that lead, right? Like if you see that they're looking at a specific if they're looking at 2427 Centinela Avenue and you're going to do a showing for that on Saturday with another one of your clients, that's a good reason to send them an email, or if they have their phone number in there, pick up the phone and call them and say like, hey, just out of the blue, I was looking at 2427 Centinela Avenue this weekend with one of my clients, was wondering if you wanted to hop on. So it's a good way to open up a conversation with a lead like that. So let's start by creating the landing page that we're going to give them the MyKW app. So if you go here to the consumer applet down at the bottom, just a reminder, you can always click on that red KW there to blow that out. We're just going to create a separate standalone web page. And we're going to do that by going to create a new page here in the top right corner. And we're just going to do as a landing page. We don't want to actually put it on the agent site because this is more of a lead generating separated landing page, a top secret, if you will. And I'm just going to call this download MyKW app. And I like to build from the top, or sorry, from the bottom up on these, just because sometimes it's like really hard to like get the widget down there, and I'll show you kind of what I mean here. But so I usually use this agent branding as like my footer. I think it looks pretty nice as a footer. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a lead form just to have another way to capture their information if they want. And then the gold here, download my app. Boom. Awesome. And then just for laughs, I'm going to put my agent branding on top. I guess I'm not going to put my agent branding on top. Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, maybe we can come back in here and do that. So everything looks good because I've set up my marketing profile. I'm going to change this interested, like, let's talk text to something more fun. I'm going to say, get a nerd now. Just because I've been doing this whole nerd branding thing, I think it kind of works for me. All right, let's see if we can get this branded header. Haha, some odd reason didn't want to do it, but now it does. Cool. So that took me, what, 2 minutes tops to create this landing page that we're going to send everybody to once they click on our ad. So we're going to go ahead and publish that. Great. We'll publish it. And then whenever you create a landing page in command, it always just puts this random unique string at the end for its HTML or .htm path. And that drives me nuts. So if you click on the 3 dots here, you can go to change URL, and I'll just do this as a download MyKW app. Cool. So I got a couple M's in there. I know I'm being picky, but There. Cool. Perfect. So if I take a preview look at this, there it is. Unfortunately, this isn't going to work for me right now because I am not a licensed agent. So it won't brand to me, but it'll at least take me to the download page here. And then if they were on a phone, they could choose the App Store or Google Play. Great. Cool. So everything kind of looks good there. We got our landing page. Now let's create our ad. And we're going to do that here in campaigns, which is the little megaphone. And I always like going to the dashboard of where I'm going to be creating something just to see what I've previously done, see if I spark any ideas coming from that. So I'm going to go to the paid ads dashboard here. And as you can see, I got a bunch of ad ideas here. And I've used this preview image a lot for my ads. And maybe it doesn't speak that clear. So I might do... I might just take this. Why not? So I'm going to screen grab this here. Bam. And we'll see what that looks like. If not, we'll try to figure out another image to use. So I'm going to create a new campaign here. I'm going to do a social ad paid, and I'm going to call this Use a Nerd My KW app. Or we'll call it Need a Nerd. I like the ends. And we'll do this as brand awareness. Why not? That's what seems most fitting to me. I probably could do like attract buyers because it's kind of like that, but I think I'm going to keep it as brand awareness. And I'll close out of that. Sometimes it auto closes, sometimes it doesn't. So here on the left side, we have how we edit our ad. And then here on the right side, we have what the ad's going to look like. Right now, it's just very generic and it's telling me to put all this information in. So let's do that. The main copy here is going to be the copy up at the top. And then the headline is going to be this thing here called the headline. And then the description is going to be any text that goes underneath here. So for the main copy, I'm probably going to do something silly because that's how I like to do 3 steps to total global domination. And we'll do a little asterisk there because we can't actually advertise that. Step 1, download my KW app. Step 2, find a house. Step 3, question marks. And then I'll put under here click here to find out step 3. You're gonna need a nerd. Perfect. So I kind of like this. I'm gonna add some emojis in here. Let's see, is there a phone one? I think there's a phone one. Sweet. Boom. Find a house. We'll do a house emoji here, and we'll add that there. And then that third one, question mark. There's got to be like some sort of confused one, or let's do this one. This one always pops to me. And let's just do perfect. And then I love doing a bunch of spaces here and doing the finger pointing up. It looks like we need some more spaces. Cool. Awesome. Add media. We're just going to go here to image and we're going to add a new one here and we'll just drag and drop. So I should have this one here. I'm just going to throw it in my downloads folder so it's easier to. Yeah, move. Cool. There it is. That way I can just click and drag it right into there because I have video. All right, let's see if this, yeah, it kind of works. Super cheesy, super lame, but that's kind of who I am, and that's kind of what my brand is. So we'll go ahead and save that. And as you can see here, it still has all of Keller Williams' branding in there. So let's get rid of that. I've tied in my Facebook to my applications and my settings. And if I go here to page, I just select that. And boom, there we go. Now we got my branding from my fake business page I've created. And destination, I always recommend just using the Facebook lead generation form. I know you're probably going to get a lot of like fake information in there because a lot of people don't put their exact real information on Facebook, but chances are they probably are. Also, if you use the Facebook lead generation form, it's going to kind of keep them in that Facebook ecosystem before sending them to your page. So at least you have one opportunity to grab any information before they get sent somewhere else and then decide to just close out their web browser. So, I mean, since this is sending us to a follow-up destination URL anyways, you might as well just use the Facebook lead generation form. So if I click the choose a landing page there, I get to choose a landing page from my landing pages I created in my consumer applet. So let's see here. Oh, I'm really good at spelling sometimes. This is the new one I created because I have that URL download my KW app. So we'll select that one. Give it a second to verify. Perfect. And then ad targeting. I highly always recommend using custom settings. I've talked a little bit before about using the referral patterns map to choose where to target it. Why don't we just go over that again anyways, just in case. So I'm just going to save this as a draft. And we're going to take a small little detour over here to the referrals applet. And we're going to take a look at the map. And from here, we can see what the referral patterns are like for Santa Monica. So if I go here and I change that to referral patterns and I go to Santa Monica, I can see that people are leaving Santa Monica. You can see that little arrow going out that way. Plus, if I hover over this, it says sent, are going to a bunch of different places. But if I click on received, I can see where they're coming from. And it looks like 7% of people or referrals from Austin are coming into Santa Monica. And this is based off of Keller Williams data. So this number could even potentially be higher, right? This is just what our referrals have seen and have been reported within our system. So yeah, we could run this ad in Austin and maybe call out Austin a little bit. And I've done that before. But just for the sake of simplicity for this one, let's keep it simple and just run it here in Santa Monica. All right, so Facebook ad here. We're using custom settings, and sure, Los Angeles works for me. 20-mile radius works for me. This is why I always recommend using custom settings. If you have this turned off, it's just going to run it in Los Angeles 20-mile radius, and it's going to hit everybody on Facebook in Los Angeles in a 20-mile radius, and that includes people who probably will never buy a house. So let's target a little bit better for people who Facebook is deemed as interested in these things. And if they're interested in these things, they're most likely going to buy a house. And these things are Zillow, homes.com, I think is another one. Bam. Realtor.com is probably another one. Yep. First-time. Is it first-time or is it first time dash? Yep, first-time buyer. Great. Let's see. Mortgage. Mortgage loans, mortgage calculator. Sure, why not? Why not music? Let's see if that exists in there. Okay, nobody's interested in music. Here's a bunch. Let's see. Apartment. Yeah, why not? An apartment guide, an apartment list, an apartments.com. Yeah, sure. Why not these? All right. So since these are OR operators, oh wow, this update finally did go through. I like to keep them as OR because I don't want to limit my like magnifying glass too much, right? Like if they're interested in Zillow or homes.com, I'm fine, right? I don't want them to be both interested in both, because there might be somebody who's only interested in Zillow, or there's only somebody who's interested in homes.com. If I use the and operator, it gets a little too specific for me. That's the narrow audience button there. But we'll go ahead and save that there. And I kind of like my ad here. I like that it has this dot, right? Because when people see that, they're like, wait, what? And then especially since it says 3 steps to total global domination, they're going to be like, what's step 3? And they'll probably click on it. At least that's my hope. Setting a campaign. I don't know why sometimes it defaults to today. You can never run a Facebook ad on the day that you are creating it, because they need a 24-hour approval process. So we have to choose the next day. And I just like around 10 days. Just looks better in my brain than 9 days. And the total campaign budget, I've seen some agents put like $5 daily or even $6 daily on their budget, and Facebook has been like, we hit everybody on Facebook and we only spent like $3.50 or $4. So don't give us that much money. I mean, that's Facebook doesn't literally say that. They're probably very thankful that you gave them their money, but they just let you know that you didn't hit your budget because they ran out of people. So $3 per day is pretty good in my opinion. If you are gonna do like $6 a day, my advice would be to just duplicate the ad, maybe change a couple things, right? Do like an A/B testing between them, and make the ads fight for who's better, and then just take the information from the one that won and continue your ad campaigns with that, and kind of just A/B testing that. That's kind of how I found out about this. I noticed that ads that had this kind of like call to action sort of thing did a lot better. So I kind of kept this going because it seemed to work pretty well for a lot of agents I help with their ads. So we'll go ahead and we'll save that. And once we're good, we can go ahead and click publish campaign there. Unfortunately, I cannot. As you can see, I'm not a licensed agent, so it won't let me do that. So we'll just save as draft for purposes of looking at the dashboard when we're done. So once this ad's running, you'll start to see your CPM, CPCs, and CPLCs add up, and all those numbers, and they mean things, and I never remember what they mean. So I click this little I with a circle in it, and here I can see what the definition of all those things are and how they make sense to me. And then when you have a lead come through, you will get a little ding notification up here. This is like you have a new lead. You can also go to this campaigns paid ads dashboard, and under CPLC you'll see your leads, and you can click that there, and it'll take you to like a little bucket where you can add them to smart plans or tags, etc. You'll also get a ding on your Kelly app on your phone. This is you got a new lead. I recommend just immediately going to your computer and going into command and doing everything in there, just because the Kelly app is a little limited in that right now.
Yeah, I would say don't use the Kelly app as anything except for like a pager. Like don't even try and click the notifications to go in there. And I wanted to, can I add something, David, about
Absolutely, because I was going to open it up to questions, comments, and ahas.
So the CPM is cost per impressions, and it's cost per 1,000 impressions. So under that, there will be a total number of impressions, and it's usually in the hundreds or thousands depending on your spend. And that number you can usually directly correlate with the amount you're spending. So pretty much the more you spend, the more impressions you're going to get. And then cost per click, which is the second column, is literally the cost per click average. So it'll have your total number of clicks and the cost per click. And of course, you can't just see who's clicking it or who the impressions are. You can only see if someone CPLC the cost per lead capture if they actually entered their information, and then you can see that person's contact info.
And my understanding is the CPLC doesn't really show if you're not using the Facebook lead generation capture form. Danny, can you correct me on that one?
Correct. It will always show as 0 if you're not using that lead capture form. So you really need to make sure you're using that, unless you're using an ad that's directing them to a web page with a lead capture. So that would be external from command. But you want to be capturing their information with that Facebook lead capture form if your goal is to get leads.
Yeah. I mean, you could also take however many leads you got from that lead capture form and then try to do the math to figure out what your CPLC is.
Absolutely.
That way, but I ain't got time for that. So I just let the computer do all the work for me because I'm lazy. Checking the chat here. I gotta thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Judy. Thanks for joining in on this. Does anybody have any ahas, any questions they have, any sort of like, wow, I realized we couldn't do this, or like, oh my gosh, David, I have this great idea. I'm gonna go and use command campaigns right now. Sweet. Well, in that case, if nobody's got anything they want to add to this, I'll keep this one short and sweet, and I will send you all off on your merry way. Thank you all.
All right, thanks.